Hey everyone, you can see my Suburban behind me. This is a kind of an emergency fix video, whereas I came back from Lowe's yesterday, or 2 nights ago, and yesterday morning I noticed that this rear window was broken. Not the glass, the hinges, these 2 hinges up top were broken off, and the lock and the latching mechanism was all twisted. So I don't know. I mean, they can break on their own. It's quite possible. It's odd though, because I haven't opened this in probably a week or so. And usually those things would break when you go to push it down if like your tension springs are too strong or something. So I don't know really why it broke. And it was really twisted. So either way, I didn't have a lot of time. I had to fix it quick. I just finished the job. So let's see how to do it if you end up in a similar situation. Let's get busy. So I came out to take the Suburban to work, and I noticed this. Now, I don't know if this broke on its own. It's possible. I don't know if somebody, when I was at Lowe's last night, tried to get in the back to get my toolboxes out or something. I don't know. Not quite sure how I'm going to fix this, but I really am going to have to, because I got to drive this thing in the next few days. So hopefully it's not going to rain while I'm at work or something. But yeah, I guess I'm going to have to figure out how to get this thing off. I'm going to need some help because I don't want to risk breaking the glass. Very weird, because the only thing that held it on is the lock. The latches are completely broken. It's twisted. The spring tensioners are bent. It's weird. I can't imagine it did this on its own just because the top latches gave way. But who knows? I don't know. All I know is I've got to fix it. So let's get busy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this. The only thing that's holding it is the button latch.
Okay.
Both these hinges that attach to the glass are both broken off. So what we've got to do is I'm going to lower it. And I've got to try it. We've got to kind of hold the glass while I try to get the lock to let go. So kind of watch the glass, grab the side of the glass. And I don't want to break the glass. It's really stuck. All right, hold on to it. Hold on to the glass. I'm going to try to get the button to let go.
I'll tell you why it's not doing this, because the actuators that you're holding it.
Try to push it down a little bit.
Okay. So the actuators actually hold it.
Okay, we got this thing, the defroster, and this piston. Yeah. Forget how you do that. I did a video on it, so when I forget this little clip, hold it right there, hold the glass.
Yeah.
I gotta get that clip off. I think you just pop this clip in.
Now, buddy.
So even this is all ripped up up top.
Okay.
And that's all ripped up.
Yeah.
So the question is, just put it in this here. That's the glass. Right. Looks to me like the glass glass is gonna have to be replaced. I could try something like JB Weld or something on these.
Yeah, this was just obviously rubberized to the...
I never open this.
Oh, so then yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I never open it.
So just JB Weld it closed. Fuck it.
Well, not the whole thing, but these. Well, that's true. I could actually
Because
put a couple tabs on it to just hold
you
it.
really foresee yourself selling it?
No. Okay, here's what we're looking at. Here's the pieces where the hinges went, and you can see it's completely broken out. It's broken out on both. This one's in fact quite bent, which is really weird. I mean, if it broke on its own, I wouldn't expect that. It's all twisted. So, I mean, ultimately, I need to replace this guy. I don't have time tonight for the next few days, and I don't want to leave it to where it's, oh yeah, look at, even this is twisted. So this is really not indicative that it just happened on its own. Somebody was pulling on this thing. Okay, so I can't do much until the weekend. So the question is, what can I do now? I think first things first, let's get these off, and it's pretty easy to get them off. You just got this little kind of snap ring here I've got to get out. Of course, like everything else on this truck, it's pretty rusty. So I got to take those off, and then these just slide sideways out. So let me take care of that. Okay. So you get this little like snap ring here. It's gonna be pretty tricky. What you don't want to do is lose it, but you just gotta insert a screwdriver in there if you can get one in, and kind of pry it out. These, of course, are quite rusty. See if we can get this thing to move around so we can see it a little bit better where it's positioned. Nope. Okay. There's a little slot in there. I may need a smaller screwdriver. It's clearly this thing's rusted on. See if I can kind of get it to move a little bit. The fun of a rusty truck, everything's a little bit more work than it needs to be. Okay, it's moving now. Okay, it's a little loose now. So now you got a smaller screwdriver. This is doing it. There we go. Let's not lose it. I dropped it, of course. Don't know exactly where it went, but I get a feeling it's right there. And then this just slides off that way, okay? If I had a little magnet, it would be easy to grab this, but here we go. Let's take the other one. Now, same deal. A lot more plastic on this guy. I think we can get in there. This one does not look as rusty, interestingly enough. Might be able to get it out. Yeah, this one's a lot easier to get off. Good way to cut yourself, did I? Pretty close. It's almost off. Maybe I could use a bigger screwdriver. Yeah, here we go. Okay, here's number 2. And again, it slides off. So, wow, okay. This is the right. I'm going to be able to really do here. I know this guy will go back on. You can see how it'll go back on right there. This one, on the other hand, everything's so twisted. I don't know. Maybe. Will it work as a temporary? Don't know. Looks like I can clamp it in really tight. So that's what I guess I'll do. Let me get some clamps. We're gonna JB weld this thing on and hope for the best. Okay, I'm going to reiterate again. If you're in a similar situation, just get a new one of these. These Suburbans and Tahoes, Yukons, they're all the same. They're very easy to come across at junkyards. All you need is the gate, or the lift gate, or the window rather. Take the two hinges off, disconnect these, disconnect your spring arms, disconnect the hinges, and replace this. I don't have the ability to do that right now, so it's almost like I'm doing an emergency road fix on it. And it's not gonna, this bottom piece really has me concerned. That thing got really heavily twisted. So, all right. That being said, if you were stranded in the middle of nowhere and you had to fix your lift gate, let's see what we can do. Normally I don't travel with clamps, but I do always travel with JB weld and vice grips, blocking pliers. So it's not possible to think I could do this on a road out in Arizona somewhere, like I've done so many repairs. So first I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just clean these things up. Just acetone them for dirt. That's all. Not that I expect there's much dirt in there, but that'll evaporate almost immediately because it's warm out. Okay, so let's do the easy one first. Get your JB weld here. The easy one, well, let's do the hard one first. It's going to require more clamps. I've got something to mix the JB weld on. I'm going to use a lot of it. So let's make sure that we mix it properly and don't drip it all over the glass. So you've got, in JB weld, you've got two parts. It's pretty easy. It's half of this, stir them together, and then apply it. Before I even do that, let's get these clamps kind of ready, because I'm going to want to do this all pretty quickly. Okay. Probably 3 clamps for this side and 2 for the other side. Okay, probably a seal on here. See the little spike in there? If you can't see that, just poke the seal. Same with this. See the spike inside the cap? Poke the seal. And give yourself, we're going to use a lot. So that's a lot. That is a lot. Because remember, it's 2-part. So now I'm putting an equal part of black. And if you mix it wrong, it may just take a long time to dry, or it may just never really dry. When you mix it, want to make sure that you get a good medium gray, like that dark gray, dark to medium gray. If it's too light, it's not going to dry right. Okay? Alright, that looks pretty well mixed. Now, I'm going to use the paintbrush end to put it where I want it to go, which is pretty much everywhere on this thing. I don't care about spilling any here. This is a temporary fix, as I said. It's good, as with most epoxies, to coat both items, both sides of things. That's what I've always heard, though. I don't know if JB Weld will actually back me up on that. This is how that goes. So now I'm going to put some on this. I want to get it everywhere. It's very, very important here, because this, even though I never opened this thing, which is why I don't think this thing broke on its own, because I can't remember the last time I opened it. I think probably the last time I ever opened it was last year, last October, November, so 12, 13 months ago, when I restored or refreshed the exterior. We are apparently quite well coated here. In place. I'm going to test how strong JB Weld really is here. And this is good. Holding that in place. I think we only need two. We only need the two, but let's use what we've got left for this trim. I didn't really clean this, and this is a porous, spongy, gluey surface, so I don't really expect the JB Weld to do much here, but it doesn't have to work for long. That I can use a very small clamp. Let me get, we pretty much in place here? Not quite. It's tough to say. We're close. Let's just fill the gaps. Be an interesting experiment here. Testing the true power of JB Weld. But you never know if you don't try it. Okay, let me get a soft clamp for that small one. Should work. This trim is good, so that's going to be the easier one. Okay, let's move on. The one to the right is the one I'm worried about. This guy, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to get this thing stuck on. All right, let's mix up a second batch. As I've said many a time, always keep a supply of JB Weld on hand, because for emergency repairs like this, when you have no other option, this is the way to go. don't think I need quite as much here. Again, make sure you can see what I'm doing. Let's get a close-up of how it's mixed. So see that color, no streaks. It's mixed, it's a good medium gray color. Switch over to the brush side. Put it in place. Needless to say, I will be spending some time looking to see if anyone on Craigslist or Marketplace has one of these locally that they're parting out. Not to say that if I were to get one that was being parted out, that this wouldn't just happen to it. But it wouldn't happen to this extreme, I can tell you that. Everything wouldn't be all twisted. I don't think I mixed quite enough to get both sides, but we'll see. Maybe. Yeah, I think we had just enough to do it. Okay. This is the one's a little bit easier to fit into place. I think. There we go. Well, it is and it isn't. There's a huge gap here. Very interesting. Let me show you what I'm talking about real quick while things are drying. There's a huge gap there. Look at that. This is tight in, and there's a gap right there. So, what to do in that situation? Well, let's mix up some more J glue and fill that gap. Stuff's not that expensive. I think it's $6 to $8 for a set, which is, you know, one of each. And, you know, so my belief is I'll be able to pop this thing on tomorrow, because I am not going to try to put it on tonight. I got to give this enough time to really fully dry, or cure rather. And then I'll try putting it on in the morning. But it will give me, hopefully, enough to last the next 5 days to the weekend, when I can possibly locate another one. When you put it on thick like this, it's going to take a while to dry. This definitely will take time. It's not going to just dry like that in an hour. clamp it down. I don't know about the other one, but I'm pretty sure this one is going to grip tight in spite of that big gap we've got over there. All right, that's it. Yeah, basically have done this emergency fix for the night. Not much we can do other than make sure that wind doesn't knock this thing onto the ground and break it, which would make my situation even worse. Just close up. We are fully clamped on. And you know, the funny thing is I never open this hatch. I know I said that before, but I never open this hatch. It's bizarre. Okay, I think we're good to go for now. All right, it's the following day. This stuff has had, I would say, enough time to dry, although it certainly feels like it's dry. Oh yeah, that's hard. We'll trim this dry. Yeah, that's hard. So other side. And this other side, you'll recall, had that big gap. That usually takes a bit longer to dry. We are dry. Okay. So, I guess all this stuff is bent. I mean, it's really weird. I mean, I'm still concerned that this is not going to latch in because it's so much bent downward. But I don't have much choice. Over the weekend, even this is bent. Over the weekend, I'll try to get a replacement if a junkyard has one. But I'm gonna pick it up and try to put it on. Let's see what happens. All right, so what we're gonna do is we gotta lift it and put it on these and slide it on. So it's gonna go on and then slide sideways. I've got the two snap rings here ready to pop on. Let me get some needle nose pliers to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my pliers. This is to hold the ring. This is to snap it on. I'm gonna go get the glass, and I'll put the camera in hopefully in a place where you can kind of see how I'm gonna mount it. And again, this is my emergency fix until I can get a replacement, because this is my daily driver. It's actually a pretty heavy piece of glass. See if I can get this aligned with just me. Don't scratch my paint. I'm sure that just did scratch me. About there. See what I'm doing here, isn't it? I didn't foresee that. Well, we're just practically there. I don't really know what the hold up is. We're there on this side. It won't slide over. don't know why that would be. Okay, let's try something a little different. Let's open the hatch and try it this way. Can't say this will work. Not unless you're right here. Okay, at least now the hatch is holding it. All three holes line up fine, except that it's bent. It's not where it needs to be. Okay. So, what I could do is try to drill that hole out. Well, that did not work out as planned. Failed attempt. So let's go back to the drawing board here. Okay, I marked off on this thing where I have to drill right there, but I'm thinking if I go at it from this angle, I can keep the hole a little bit smaller, but almost force the pin to slide in. But I'm gonna have to make the hole bigger regardless, so it's not gonna work as good, but this is pretty much junk anyway, so. I got 3 holes set to the right size. That'll have to do. All right, let's try it again. It is a trial and error process. Here's hoping. Okay, one more time. Take it off again. That is a very big hole. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I have learned one thing. When I get a replacement, I definitely want to have a second person here to help me do this. See if I can maybe help it along with these. That guy's definitely in the right spot. That guy's definitely right, and that's right. So it's just this one here. Let's see. Maybe I can get these to push it in. You're so close, man. Oh yeah. Okay. We're all on. I just gotta kind of move it sideways. Here's how we're gonna put these on. We're gonna hold it with these. And then we're gonna kind of put it on with these. See if I can get a better view of that. Since I'm now euphoric with energy, since I've got this thing on. Yeah, there's really no easy way for you to see this, but it might just pop right on, I don't know. Okay, they're on. Okay. Any vice grips? Because I don't need them to close the lift gate. Let's hope it latches. It does. All right. One last test. You can't open it. All right. So it took a lot longer to do this. I spent 1 hour getting this thing back on after I had JB welded it. So, but my emergency fix is done. This is gonna be okay. Should be fine for the next 3 to 5 days. And that's it. So if this happens to you and you're on the road and you need to fix it, if you got an auto parts store, well, get some JB Weld. You're not gonna be able to do it on the road. You'll have to give it several hours to dry, but you can fix these. I don't recommend it. Again, I don't recommend this as a permanent fix. This thing is 22 years old, 206,000 miles. I never open this. I always open the lift gate itself. So for me, it's a no-brainer. It doesn't matter. You can do it. So please like and subscribe if you like this type of crazy content, like what I did today in 91-degree heat. And you know, if this happens to you and you can't find one of these, or you got to wait a while and you got to do a quick fix just so you can drive it, this is my daily driver, so that's what I had to do. You can do it. Don't be intimidated. Just go out, get busy. Take care.